Is Air France's premium economy really worth it? Well, that kind of depends as to what matters to you, the upgrades in the in-flight experience and or having the access to Sky Priority. You'll start experiencing the benefits of premium economy the moment you get to the airport because when you go to security, there is a separate line for people with Sky Priority access. So it took me less than 10 minutes both to my destination and back home to go through security. With Sky Priority, you will be upgraded to Boarding Group 2 to get onto the plane. Now in the US, in a way your boarding group doesn't really mean anything because that's like solely based off the honor system. They don't say anything if you board with a different group. But at Charles de Gaulle, they're more strict because they segment you into different lines to board the plane and they actually look at your ticket to see which boarding group you are.
Let's talk about the experience on the plane. Now, the plane itself is not new. You can definitely see it's old and there's wear and tear on it. The biggest thing was that on my way back, the pad on my headphone fell off, so I just had to read subtitles the whole way home. The seat is pretty similar to an economy seat. The main difference is that the legs of it do go up, which does make it more comfortable. You even have a footrest there for your feet. My biggest concern was that that bar was crushing my belongings. With your seat, you'll get a pillow and a quilted blanket, which is an upgrade from regular economy, where it'll just be this really thin piece of cloth that they would give you. At your seat, you'll find that there is a bottle of Evian. In premium economy, you do get an amenity kit, you get an eye mask, toothbrush, toothpaste, sock, and earplugs.
The flight kicks off with getting champagne on the plane, or you could get water. It was very exciting for me to have champagne on the plane. I'd never been served champagne on a plane before, okay? It was very fun for me. And on my flight to Paris, that was great. But coming back home from Paris, you know, champagne doesn't really make sense depending on the time of your flight because I had an early morning flight and so it just did not make sense for me to be drinking champagne on an empty stomach. That's just me. And so I really feel Air France should have like more non-alcoholic options for that welcome drink, aside from water because not everyone even drinks. And water's not the most exciting. Like could they come up with a more like exciting drink for people who do not drink alcohol? Just like have them celebrate too, the start of the flight.
The in-flight entertainment system is a standard touchscreen where you have an array of movies, TV shows, music, and games.
One thing to know is that the entertainment system, it seems to be that they will default the video to French because I was watching the new Joaquin Phoenix Napoleon movie and for like 10 minutes I watched it in French with no subtitles. And I thought it was like that at first, like as like an artistic decision by the director. And I was even thinking in my head, like, wow, like Joaquin Phoenix like learned like a lot of French for this movie, but just like went on way too long that then I realized, oh, like I need to change the default settings to English. Nice that you get headphones instead of earbuds to watch your movies and listen to music on Air France. But do not be fooled by those headphones because those headphones are not comfortable because the ear pad it hits directly on your ear. And so your ear is just getting crushed the entire time you're wearing them. And so you'll start to get like aches on your ear. And I could not get through an entire movie without my ear hurting. It's just the trials and tribulations of premium economy, I guess. But like really, like Air France like should change those headphones because they're just like not comfortable at all.
Air France recently redesigned their menus for premium economy with the help of Michelin star chef Frederic Simonin. On my first flight, for the first meal, I had the option between the haddock and the mushroom and sun-dried tomato risotto. I opted for the haddock. Served on top of the haddock is mashed potato, and I would say you get a far greater ratio of mashed potato than haddock, but the haddock that was in it was cooked perfectly, and I did enjoy that dish. Alongside the haddock, you'll also be served a quinoa, pearl barley, and feta cheese salad. For the dessert, it is this caramel-like cake. On the top of it is crushed graham crackers and a caramel cream. In the middle layer, it is like this flan-like consistency, and the crust is graham cracker. You'll also be served bread and cheese and butter. What I thought was kind of humorous though was that the cheese that I got served on the flight going to Paris was from Wisconsin. Like, I would have just expected Air France to be giving me cheese from France. The bread was my least favorite part of this meal. It was served cold and it was hard, and it just like was not a standout in any way. But I ate it anyways because I paid for it. They also served these like packaged crackers, but I didn't eat it on the flight and just chose to save it for another time. At the back of the plane, there was a self-serve bar for snacks where I got olive oil and basil crackers. And the cracker were like these small circular discs with like waffle-like texturing on it. I even got a chocolate truffle. The water in the self-serve bar was interesting because it came served in this cup that's very similar to a cup that Jello is served in. This was my second meal on my first flight. This box is just an array of snacks. So you have a mixed fruit cup by Dole, a kefir drink. Kefir is very similar to yogurt. You have bread. That bread was not very good, by the way. You'll also get orange juice. And this orange juice was interesting again because it came in a container that's like Jello and yogurt. And there was just the utensil and napkin. You have jam from Smucker's. We love American brands, don't we, on Air France? And some butter. The breakfast, you get one hot item. It's like a baked good. It was this bread with cheese and pesto on it. On my second flight, for my first meal, you had the choice between having scallops or this pea and spinach type dish. I chose to have the scallops. The scallops were served in this cream sauce that had citrus in it, giving it very bright notes. The pasta was served with asparagus. As a side, they served shredded up carrots and zucchini, and below it was creamy fava beans, but they did not serve a nice Chianti with it. The dessert was this lemon tartlet that was very citrusy and creamy. I really did like that lemon tartlet. What was nice was that this time Air France was serving French butter and cheese. The cheese was a camembert cheese. It is a cheese that's very similar to brie because it's very soft and moist and creamy. I had my cheese and butter with the bread. Again, the bread was not very good. It was still cold and hard. My second meal on Air France was just like how it was on the first flight, where it's just this amalgamation of a bunch of different types of snack foods served alongside this one hot item. And I really wish it would just be that you just get like one hot meal that's like cohesive instead of just these random snacks.
With premium economy, don't expect that there's going to be like this great boost in service, because other than getting your main meals, you will pretty much never see the flight attendant. And one thing that happened both ways actually was like in between the meals, the flight attendant would come walking down the aisle with cups of water and a bottle of water. But instead of stopping at each aisle, the flight attendant would just like walk down the aisle and walk quickly back, like would not even offer it to the passengers, like did not stop at each aisle. And also, both times when this happened, the cabin was dark. And so like you wouldn't even fully know for sure if that was the flight attendant. So like on my flight to Paris, I wasn't like quite fully confident that was even the flight attendant. And then coming back from Paris, because I saw that same thing occur again, I realized, oh, this is like, that was a real flight attendant, but it's very odd that they don't offer it to passengers. They just quickly walk down the aisle and back just to say that they did it. A really big benefit, though, with premium economy was Sky Priority because when you land and you have to go through immigration and customs, you will get put into a separate line for that. And so it makes going through that whole process like much quicker. When I think all in all of my experience with Air France on premium economy, I don't think it was really worth the extra money to be premium economy because it was not that much different from just the regular economy experience. Really, all that premium economy had going for it was Sky Priority Access. Like, that was the best part of it, just having everything at the airport be completely expedited.
Let me know if this video helped you decide whether or not Air France's premium economy is worth it to you, and thank you so much for watching.